Through the previous examples, we discussed this formula, and then now I want to confirm this formula indicates the slope of tangent line. And now, because for our convenience, I want to just rewrite delta x equal to h, then we can also rewrite this formula, limit h move to 0, f x plus h minus fx over h. There's no meaning we have to switch delta x to h, but the reason I prefer writing delta x as h because it wouldn't be fewer confusing. If I'm using delta x, then it actually contains x value here. So whenever you read it, sometimes you may be confused, this x and then this x. Therefore, I totally distinguish delta x and x. So I prefer using h instead. Good? So please don't be confused. Anyway, so this formula we always call, so mathematically, derivative. So indicate f prime x here. And we also discussed that unless the function is formed as a linear, it won't have regular slope, which means this answer going to be, so this answer going to be some expression form such as 2x or 3x squared minus 4, something like that, right? So this one we just call derivative because after we found it, we got some of another function form, and then we're gonna find out the slope at the particular order pair. Good? Yeah. Now, this derivative, we have many different ways to write. So, another one. If it is not functional notation, then y prime also the same as f prime x. Basically, this one is more like a functional notation case. This is a regular case here. And now, you may encounter this formula a lot, which is d over dx. But they're all exactly the same meaning, basically. So, from now on, please remember, this formula we just call derivative. It means you want to find out the function form so that we can find out the slope of tangent line. Good? Now, before, when we practice fewer questions, we only talk about such as the linear format, so like a linear format, or the maximum degree was quadratic formula here. Okay? So in this case also we got the quadratic form here, right? However, what about the other polynomial cases, such as more than second degree? You know, we can maybe make gx equal to x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 4, something like that, right? This is also another function form. If we apply this formula, then it's going to be so many steps, which means easy to make mistake. And then, you know, if the function form, any function form more than like a 5th or 6th degree, such as x7th maybe plus x6th blah 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 like this, right? Honestly, I don't even calculate correctly either. Then what about this case? You know, we have the power is more than second degree. We don't want to apply this definition formula, which means we may need another formula. So many mathematicians, they found out some pattern and then found few derivative property. So this time we only review a couple of maybe several derivative properties, and the next video we try to solve fewer questions based on those properties. So the first thing is the constant rule. So the derivative of a constant function is 0. So as you see here, okay, let's think about why derivative constants equal to 0. This function also we can generate from y equal to any constant number from here. Then you can make y prime will be d over dx this number, right? Okay. Now, this kind of form always generate horizontal line. What's the slope for the any horizontal line? Yes, m equal to always 0. Therefore, derivative constants must be equal to 0 here. Now, the second part, power rule, which you will use the most. If n is rational number, then the function fx equal to x to the m power is differentiable, and d over dx x to the n equal to n times x n minus 1. Okay? So, let's go back to few questions, such as maybe y equal to x squared. Okay, so let me show some definition of derivative for this function shortly. As you know, f prime x equal to limit h move to 0, fx plus h minus fx over h here. So I'm going to look for this form first, which is fx plus h equal to x plus h squared. So it becomes x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. Afterward, you use FOIL method and plug that into this formula. Then limit h move to 0, x squared plus 2hx plus h squared minus x squared over h. Therefore, you can cancel out this and this. So it is going to be limit h move to 0, 2hx plus h squared over h. So you just factor by h, then it's going to be 2x plus h over h. So we cancel this, and then it's going to be limit h move to 0, 2x plus h. Now plug 0 into h here, then it's going to be 2x. So after all, f prime x will be, or we can say y prime equal to 2x here. Then think about the from original function y equal to x squared. It looks like you bring this number in front of x, then it's going to be 2x, and then following this one, so 2 minus 1 power, which will give us 2x anyway. So the power is working. Anyway, you will use the power as the most, so please remember that. Like that, we have several other methods here. Constant multiple rule. So whenever you have the function form c times f, such as y equal to maybe 2x cubed, then you multiply 2 and derivative of this one here. Okay? So in this case, we can say y prime equal to 2 times 3x squared. This is the derivative of this one. So y prime become 6x squared like that. Okay, that's what this means. Now, the sum and difference rule. So whenever the function form is fx plus gx, then you just do f prime x plus g prime x. Subtraction as well. So fx minus gx, then you do f prime x minus g prime x. So this one we can confirm from the previous example, such as this kind of question here. Look at this, please. So we have t squared plus 4t here, right? So now let's use the property found here. So h prime t will be 2t, because I do just this one separately, plus this one. 4 times t, derivative of t will be 4, so become 2t plus 4. So if we go down here, we got 2t plus 4. So like that. So that's the sum and difference rule. And now, few trigonometry derivative here. So those are the most important part. So you must memorize it, because this one I can explain a little bit later. But whenever you do derivative sin x, then it's going to be cosine x. And derivative cosine x must be negative sin x. Please remember that. Okay, so next video, I'm going to explain this one a little more detail using the graph. Good? Okay.